Hey, I'm out here in my shop today, and I just wanted to share a little tip with you. I started making a new pen blank, and decided that I wanted to make a little miter box that would enable me to cut very thin slices out of the wood, so that I'd be losing as little as possible of the grain continuation features. Um, and the slice that I would be making is almost exactly the same thickness as this veneer that I'm putting in between. So let me show you this little box I made, and maybe you'll go about making yourself one if you happen to like doing turning pens or turning anything else where you might want to insert thin slivers of very thin slivers of veneer. So let me show you this. Okay, so here's the little miter box. I've got a square cut here and a square cut down here. Then I've got a 22.5-degree miter there. Got a 45-degree miter there, and I've got a 30-degree miter here. So that encompasses most of the miters I would be using. And yesterday I went about making this new pen blank, and there's a 45 there. There's another 45 there, and then I was just putting pieces of this cherry veneer in between and coming up with this. And then I did something new. I sent this through the bandsaw and then clamped a piece of veneer down the middle of the wiggle from the bandsaw cut and flipped it and did another cut, the same thing, and glued that in to the wiggle. And we'll see what ends up happening. I'm going to actually try turning a pen later on. So just wanted to share with you, though, this quick little simple miter sled, or not sled, but miter box. And the way I made it was I made these cuts on my chop saw, and then I put my saw in between as a spacer and glued these back together. So my chop saw kerf was more like 1/8 of an inch, but I knew it was going to cut a really nice, perfect 30-degree miter, or cut on this. Yeah, 30-degree cut, miter cut on this. And that then enabled me to put my saw blade in here and push that cut nice and tight together, and then glue that block on to my base plate. So as you can see, these blocks run all the way through, and so does that cut. And that's how I went about making this little miter box. Okay, so here's this new pen blank that I just showed on another quick video. Another quick video which I showed the miter box which I made this pen blank from. And then I just used you could use a scroll saw or a bandsaw. I used my bandsaw to create the squiggle. I'm calling this piece Fish and Kelp. So it's these bands of kelp running through, and then these fish swimming across the bands of kelp. I think it turned out pretty nice, and I thought this would be a perfect experiment for using a little bit of the micro fine Yorkshire grit abrasive. So let's give this a try. I have it sanded up here to about 1,000 grit, 1,500, something like that. I'm just going to apply some of this microfine abrasive paste, and I thought this would be a really good test to just see how nice this stuff is. And so far I'm liking it a lot. Okay, just let that kind of soak in a little bit and dry out a hair. And I'll let that probably sit there just for a couple minutes. I know I don't really have to do this, but the piece of wood was kind of warm from just sanding it, and so some of that is going to sort of solidify over the next minute or so as the piece cools down a hair. And then I can start out spinning slow and bring it up to a buff speed, and we'll see what happens. All right, let's give this a try. I'm going to start spinning down here around 500. to a fresh part of my rag. All right, increasing the speed. Now I'm coming up here to about 1,000, doubling my speed. Moving to a fresh piece. And I can see the luster coming up in it. And now moving up here to 1,400, almost 1,500, adding about another 500. Now I'm up here at almost 2,000. And just light pressure now. I don't want to heat up the CA glue finish on this, which is what it has. It has a CA glue finish. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. CA glue finish that I am now burnishing in with the microfine Yorkshire grit. And I don't know if you can see that there, but it's got a real nice sheen on that. Oh yeah, and it feels like velvet. I think that's all I'm going to do to that. I may apply one more coat here and then buff it one more time. But that looks really good for just a first buffing. Anyway, just wanted to share that with you. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. All right, doing one more quick buff here. All right, so now you can see, look at the shine on that. See that? It is phenomenal. And really nice and flat looking, no ridges. Very, very nice. Anyway, I'm calling this piece Fish in the Kelp. Hope you enjoyed this quick little tip video on my pen blank miter box. And if you did, please give me a like, share, and comment. Thanks again for watching another episode of The Naked Turner.